Good morning from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. How are you this morning? It's wonderful to be here with you. If you're here, remember to say good day. And if you're here for the replay, do a hashtag replay because I love being able to catch up with you. My name's Linda. I'm a trauma recovery coach. And today we're going to talk about dissociation. We're going to talk about how it happens, and how it develops, how it happens, and most importantly of all, how our family can help us when it is happening. Okay, if you're here for the first time, remember to hit follow so that you can find me when I go live. And if you're here on YouTube, remember to hit subscribe so that you can find the channel again, because it's a crazy busy world out there. Okay, now dissociation is something that can be known about if it's happening for you, and if not, it's like, well, what's that big word mean that I can't even pronounce? And believe me, when I first heard the word, actually it's probably a couple of decades ago nearly, I was like Googling, looking for an explanation, looking to understand, and there was virtually nothing around. These days, fortunately, you can Google and find out more information. The current understanding from the experts is that when in childhood situations of overwhelm happen, that the child in their mind creates a safe space over here, off to the side, so to speak, where they can feel their strength to get through what it is they have to go through. And oftentimes, nobody's aware that that's what's happened. And by the time we get to adulthood, and, quite often we can have forgotten what's happened in our past, it's like the part of us that dumps in and keeps us from having to feel anxious. It's really hard to describe, but for me, back then, it felt like I had so many different parts to me on the inside, but I knew I didn't have schizophrenia and I didn't have the words for it either. So people can tend to push it down and ignore it, but in the world where we're gaining more language and greater understanding, to understand that when things become very overwhelming, that it happens automatically, can give you relief from the fact that it's not your fault. It just will happen automatically in order that we've got the strength to face what we have to do. One of the automatic times in my life was when I was standing outside the school waiting to get the kids one day and watching these kids playing, and a ball went up and hit a window behind bars and broke the window, and as the glass came down it sliced one of the kids' legs, and everyone is standing there. But because I've been through that trauma and I have an automatic response, I just went straight into that place of strength and went over and addressed the issue, directing traffic. Right, you go to the office and get them to ring the ambulance. You do this. And meanwhile, as I'm directing traffic, I'm holding together a kid's leg, hoping that it doesn't bleed, too profusely. And it was a pretty big slice in a little kid's leg. So these are the sorts of things. It's like we become superhuman in times of stress. Well, for me, that's what will happen. And I know for others too, it's that superhuman side that comes in, and people think, oh, you're fine, you're strong. Well, no, actually, I've had to dissociate so that I could get through this. So what can our family do? Well, first of all, we need to be able to communicate to our family when it's happening and be aware of it. So be aware of when our body's gone into hyper or hypoarousal. Our family who know us best can often see that it brings on times of panic or anxiety, depression, etc., etc. And we get very tired, all right? If we're not accessing our inner core strength, then we will get tired because we've spent too much time dissociating. Okay, so what we want to do with our family, with our friends, is pre-plan how we like to manage when we do dissociate. Okay, so I think that pre-planning is just critical for this, because you don't want to be in the middle of dissociating, be really emotional and be trying to verbalise what you can and can't, or what you do and don't like. Alright, it will just be impossible, and then you will get frustrated with the family or friend who is trying to legitimately help you and legitimately understand with compassion what's happening for you and how they can help. Come from the perspective that people love you and want to help you and want to be there and help build your resilience so that you can overcome this. So sit down and pre-plan. So family members can listen to this and go, right, how can I help them pre-plan? And people who have dissociation can sit down and go, I'd like my family to help me pre-plan. Because when we do, we connect and we're communicating what our needs are, which is something that hasn't happened. And I say this from experience. I've had to learn how to communicate my needs. Well, first of all, I had to learn how to identify them, and then I had to learn how to communicate them. And it's not a precise science, okay? You might pre-plan and then tweak it along the way. Dissociation is on a spectrum. So where once upon a time I would feel like there's so many different parts to me on the inside, I don't feel like that now, but I'm aware that when I'm tired, it happens, and I try and push myself to go forward, to do this. You can do this. On and on the internal dialogue will go. But now I'm at the point of recovery where I'm choosing to go, well, no. One, I'm going to do a trauma-informed workout in order that my breathing gets off hypo-arousal. All right, because when I'm breathing properly with my body and brain, I'm reconnected to my core. I'm then going to go, right, I need to rest so that my brain can be at peace and get strength and refocused. And I'm going to honour what my body needs at this time. And sometimes that's simply that I've forgotten to eat. Oh my goodness, I told you the story about how I got triggered with depression over a week ago, and I'm off out doing stuff and sitting at my girlfriend's, and I went, oh my goodness, I haven't eaten today. And it's these sort of things that our family can ask us, the most basic things. Have you eaten today? So if you're a family member, take notes. Ask questions, not when someone's dissociating, but if someone in your life seems a bit out of sorts, just ask, have you eaten today? Have you had enough sleep? How are you feeling today? Okay, what is happening for you? Has loneliness triggered you? Okay, and these aren't questions that you need to solve the answers to. These are questions you just need to listen to the answers to, because you're dealing with an adult who, once connected with you, is capable of working through and finding the solutions, but the connection to you is priceless, absolutely priceless. It means more to somebody that you're willing to connect than it does to have any kind of solutions, because mental health challenges mean that we believe that we have to do this on our own. Worldwide, I'm telling you, it comes down to but one of the core beliefs is we have to do it on our own, we have to keep it secret, we have to keep it safe, and in order to get past that, we need to be willing to learn what's happening for that person as an individual. One of my sons goes through different mental health challenges to me, and I just have to be willing to keep learning and even though I can't relate to his mental health challenges, I have to be willing to sit down and listen and learn as much as I can just to connect and be a support and love on them. And another one of my clients has a family, a whole family, where no one else has the mental health challenges, the complex trauma, but they are all willing to just be there and listen. And the support is priceless. The unconditional love, there is no price that you can put on it. So you're a wonderful family member if you're willing, and friend if you're willing to learn. My friends do that for me. I can ring and say, listen, this is what's happening. I just need to talk about this. So I don't need them to solve anything, but it's that human connection that just validates and helps me see the next part. It's like when two or more are gathered together, okay? It does increase the value and effectiveness of becoming well. Alright, so things that you can do as a family member when you become attuned to what's happening, or a friend, is simply remove them to a safe place. So if there's a whole bunch of cognitive stuff happening, noise is just one of the crucial things, like out at a shopping centre. Find somewhere that's peaceful and quiet. Even if it's just to duck down to the car and sit there so that the breathing can become more regulated, it will help. But just know that it's one step at a time, one question at a time, and this is why pre-planning is so important, okay? Because you're going to work together, and working together is very powerful. If you're around things that are stimulating, like extra lighting, or people that have the urge to hug all the time, or animals that, want to jump on you and lick you, just calm the environment, all right? Have it calm in order that the breathing can become more regulated without outside impact. And this is excess stimulation, and sometimes people can get triggered into dissociation just by being in a small enclosed room, or there are so many different sets of circumstances, and they will be unique to each person. So what we need to do is take on board the unique circumstances. The person that your family member or friend will know what triggers them, or can work towards knowing what triggers them, and then you can work together. And the thing is, when you work together, it decreases the length over time. It will decrease the length of the dissociation as well. Use a gentle tone of voice, or use a tone of voice where you are coming straight from your heart with love and compassion and understanding and happiness as well. Just know, be encouraging. Encouraging is probably a really good word to use at this time. We've got a plan. We're going to work through this. We can do this. Okay, grounding is another thing. Learn how to do grounding. Actually, I haven't got my grounding meme up, but I will post it down below, because you can help somebody walk through the grounding techniques, and that will help them come out of the dissociation as well. Ask them if they want to be touched physically. I'm aware of somebody who likes to be stroked on the arm just to help with the grounding, and the touch, okay, helps with the sensory system. So it's a really good thing to do. Even food, if they have a favourite food, okay, we're not going to sit and eat copious quantities of chocolate cake, but if they have a food that will help them become aware of what's happening in their body and the sensation of taste, that's a good thing. But normally we need to do 3 sensory things in order to overcome the system going offline. Alright? So part of your pre-planning, put together 3 sensory things that help you come back online. Okay, and more than anything, we want to keep it simple, silly. Nothing complicated. Let's keep it simple and keep it on track. Okay, I hope that's helped you for today. If you have any questions, feel welcome to leave them down below. Remember to take the information to your therapist or your trauma coach and have them help you put a plan together. You're welcome, and let's have a wonderful, wonderful day. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, have a beautiful evening. Bye for now.